He needs not armies,
No!
but rings.
Wrong. Wrong. There's so much wrong with all of this, I don't even know where to start, but we're going to try. Rings of Power Season 2 is going to pick up right where it left off in Tolkien's works, which is not in them. None of this is even remotely close to Tolkien's work. In fact, it directly contradicts massive events and story arcs. So let's start with this. Galadriel never wore her ring. She didn't wear it until much later into the Third Age, after Sauron had already lost his One Ring. The One Ring, the one from the movies which you've seen, was forged in secret by Sauron to control the other rings of power. And guess what? Galadriel knew this, so she didn't wear her ring until after Sauron lost his. This is kind of hinted at in Rings of Power, like right here.
You are wise to fear these rings. In Sauron's hands, they could work an evil beyond reckoning.
Technically correct, but also he didn't need them in his hands. He didn't want them in his hands. He wanted them on other people's hands so he could control them. Also, Barrow Wights don't exist until the Third Age. They were essentially created by the Lich King of Angmar to hunt for the ring. This is just stupid bait so they can pretend like they've read the book, saying, see, we're pulling a deep cut, even though it actually makes no sense if you think about it.
You sought peace. I gave it to you. This is hardly a gift. What have you done to me?
What have you done to me?
You will give me the Nine.
Yeah, I hate this. I hate what they're doing to Celebrimbor. Celebrimbor is a hero. Hashtag Celebrimbor did nothing wrong, but show Celebrimbor is a complete and utter idiot. First off, he doesn't recognize Halbrand in a wig.
He deceived me. He is Sauron.
What am I to call you?
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
A sharer of gifts. Our work begins now. Who are you? Truly.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, hey, have you met my cousin?
No, we haven't. I'm
Celebrimber.
Actually, we have met before.
I'm Sauron.
I'm gonna go use my time machine real quick.
Awkward. What did he say? And it turns out it was a bunch of kids just stacked on top of each other. Yes. And you thought they were adults.
Shut up, go to sleep. Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, hey, have you met my cousin?
Yes, we have. Good to see you.
Halbrand. Sauron.
And second off, Celebrimbor is basically single-handedly responsible for saving Middle-earth from Sauron by creating the three rings that he created in secret. The show has him do this completely out of order. What's supposed to happen is Anatar, aka Sauron, shows up and teaches the elves how to make awesome rings of power that will help them win the wars against the forces of evil. But it was a trick, and Celebrimbor was suspicious of Anatar the whole time. Sauron, or Anatar, got all of the elves to start building lesser rings of power, and once they got the hang of it, he had them create the 9 rings and the 7 rings. All of these rings were all initially given to elves. It wasn't until later that they were given to dwarves and humans. So these rings of power were awesome and gave awesome powers, but Sauron essentially coded in a back door. So being the system admin with the one ring that he forged in secret, he could control anybody wearing the rings. All of this was supposed to happen before Celebrimbor forged the 3 rings that we saw him forge in Season 1. Celebrimbor, being suspicious of Anatar, takes the technology and in secret forges his own 3 rings of power. But Sauron didn't even know about them. Now, because he stole Sauron's code, these 3 rings were still susceptible to Sauron's back door, but at the same time they were also never touched by Sauron's hands, so they weren't corrupted. That's the key difference with the three rings. The three rings were given different powers to preserve Middle-earth. So what happened was, when Sauron finished forging the one ring, he put it on, but it didn't work as well as he thought it was going to work. It immediately set off alarm bells for the elves that were wearing the 15 rings, because they could feel Sauron entering their mind. The elves were just a little bit too powerful to be fully tricked by Sauron. It also helped that Celebrimbor was already suspicious of Anatar. So good guy Celebrimbor saved the day, but the show just has it backwards. He created the three rings first, and now Sauron is coming to him and having him create the 9.
You will give me the 9.
They're probably just gonna graze over the 7. I don't know what they're planning with that. So they're gonna have Sauron slowly turning Celebrimbor mad and just creating more rings for no reason, even though they already knew that the 3 that they created were extremely dangerous. This show is antithetical to Tolkien's works. So in the books, once Sauron's plan to corrupt the elves fails, he gets pissed off and is like, well, I spent a whole bunch of time making those rings. I want to get them back and maybe try it again, but with humans, because they're stupid. So he wages an all-out war against Eregion to get his rings back. And apparently we're getting the Battle of Eregion in Season 2.
Eregion must not fall. It would be a mortal blow for all Middle-earth.
I assume that this is the 3-episode battle that J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay have been going on and on about incessantly, saying, "No, trust us, it's gonna be so good." Even though those battles from Season 1 were horrible, trust us. These ones in Season 2 are gonna be really good. Just wait until we get into the choreography of those. But this is crazy. The entire point of the battle for Eregion is Sauron trying to get his rings back. But they already know Sauron's plan from Season 1. They already know that Sauron was trying to make rings. So why on earth would they make more? The show doesn't make sense. It's backwards. And we can see from that shot in the trailer that Sauron is present at the siege of Eregion as Anatar, while Eregion is being... He's the one that's supposed to be attacking it because he got kicked out and he's trying to get his rings back. It doesn't make sense. And it gets worse. This is what the show's doing.
Sauron is my enemy as much as yours. I can help you destroy him.
It's not Sauron who attacks Eregion at all. It's whoever the hell this Adar character is, this made-up character who's just misunderstood and wants to find a home for the elves. They're displaced, they're refugees. So it looks like the show is going to have Anatar trying to create the rings while it's being sieged by Adar, and presumably Galadriel is on Adar's team? I don't know what's going on. Oh, this show is going to be so retarded. So everything is backwards. None of it makes sense. And they have the audacity to drop this line in the trailer.
At this moment, the great tale of our age is being written.
And we are sorry we intentionally ignored it.
We're not following any of it. We're completely ignoring Tolkien's greatest tale. Anyway, so while we wait for Season 2 to drop, which is going to be so much fun to tear apart and make fun of, we get a couple shots of horrible choreography that we have to make fun of. This is great. I love this. This is just a prime example of how incompetent the showrunners are. This is supposed to be a super cool moment showing how Sauron is just so fast and fluid in his movements. He can dodge any blow. But if you know anything about swordplay, you can see he starts moving before the man even thrusts, and he barely moves at all, so the man is just thrusting into mid-air. If Sauron hadn't moved, the sword still would have missed, and also you can you can redirect your thrust. You can curve your arm if someone's moving that slowly. Or even pull the blade back and cut Sauron in half. The showrunners are idiots who don't know how real life works. And it really shows.
I will not stop until this is put right.
This one took me a second to figure out what was going on. I thought that Galadriel was swinging a torch at an elf who was doing a quadruple flip sideways through the air. And it looked really silly because I was like, he's clearly flipping through the air. Why are you swiping a torch underneath him, like intentionally missing? It looked really stupid. And then I realized she's not. She's holding like 5 arrows in her hand and lighting them on his falling torch. So she's already performed some super realistic girl boss fight move against this orc who's just flipping in the air, and he drops his torch, and she instantaneously lights her arrows on the falling torch to presumably shoot at the rest of these orcs. It's so crazy that this works. Like, you can see her arrows are touching the falling torch for all of 1 frame. And they burst to light. Those must be covered in magnesium for that to work. Anyway, we got one final amazing choreography. You just gotta watch.
Galadriel.
I don't even... It's so many layers of stupid, I don't know where to start. And that kind of brings us full circle. I think I need help from, like, Shadiversity to explain how stupid this bind is. But it looks retarded. And they really thought that they were cooking here. But that brings us full circle, and that's all of the trailer that I want to talk about. So that's it. There you go. Bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's true, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining, so please consider joining Patreon and getting your